Hello again and welcome to my channel. We're going to do a series of two paintings. They're kind of like a distorted face in the style that I have been creating, that I kind of learned from Picasso, with three-dimensional triangles. I'm going to do one in color, one in black and white, and this is one of two. This is me getting that palette together. Something that I like to do. I typically work in oil, but the background for this canvas, I think it was done in spray paint, and then I drew the figure on it with oil. It's like oil pastel stick. We're using Gamsol and a fast drying medium. Oil paints, of course. This is my red easel. Trying to get all the colors that I'm going to use. Color scheme that I really like is it's like red, green, purple. Truthfully, if you just use red and green and you kind of blend and mix them, you can get your own form of purple, but nothing beats that good dioxazine purple out the tube. This time I have an actual palette, an actual dedicated oil palette, mostly because the paper plates weren't cutting it this time. Ramses is doing the video work, and yeah, I've decided that I do want a different painting outfit. If there is a way to keep these clothes clean, I'd get real fresh for you guys, but I think I'm gonna get some dedicated painter overalls or something. Look real painterly. And here we are. We're starting at the top left. It's an eyeball, and starting with some purple. This one is going to be in that color scheme I was telling you about. It's purple, red, and green. If done correctly, it can look like kind of like a heat vision. They're just really good colors together. I don't know why, but they work. This is like a fun part of the process, just getting started, getting back comfortable with the paint and everything. Most people think that my favorite color is purple. I'd say it's up there. My favorite color is actually red. I feel like red and green they're all like, they speak for me in a sense. So a story about these canvases. I was not supposed to be painting at all this year. Wasn't supposed to paint at all. I told myself I wasn't gonna paint until I got into the gallery and I actually got into the museum. I still, in my mind, was like, I'm not gonna paint until the year's over because I shouldn't have to, being that I have hundreds of paintings and pieces of artwork. But basically, there's like, I have some baby cousins and they have been stalking me and my lady. So my mother is kind of forcing us to be around them and paint with them, essentially. So I had to get a bunch of canvases, got a bunch of canvases, and there were two left over. And I hate blank canvases. Canvases that are just not done around me like really bother me. So I was like, I have to do something on these. Why not do this new style of, they're kind of like drawings that I've been doing kind of at work. I figured I'd try to paint them. I will say that I do think they look better in pen, like they're best as pen drawings, but I figured I'd try it. We're trying to get all the whites on the canvas because if you wait to try to put the whites on at the very like middle or end of the painting, then you end up getting this like muddy gray instead of like bright whites. And you kind of need that if you want to have like nice eyeballs or teeth. I realized in all my years of painting that once you kind of get down a style or a way that you want to do things, a lot of it after that is simply just talking to people and figuring out where you want your work to be displayed at. I think my next go round is trying to see if I can get some artwork in some hotels or apartment offices or something like that. We're dialing in on some of the teeth and the features because I've for the past few years been painting so huge. I've been like smaller canvases really, they typically take like an hour to knock out if I just kind of sit there and focus on it. I always get the painter bug at like nighttime. It's always nighttime or like early AM, 3, 4 AM. I'm even technically recording this at like 4 AM. Just when the world is sleeping, you get to do all your little fun experimenting. I do think I need to redo like the style of painting that I learned is like called, I think it's chiaroscuro. It's like wet paint on top of wet paint. I do want to eventually get to a layering point of like I can let layers dry and work on a painting for months at a time, but I use Gamsol for speed purposes because I feel like if I leave a wet painting around, the dogs are gonna get to it, or it's not gonna come out as good if I don't finish it in one go round. Getting the layering done on the top eye. Looks good from here. Turned out pretty well. I do have this thing about Picasso, is like I think that I think his whole thing and why he became what he became is specifically because of style. The style that he created, which was like that Cubism, I wouldn't say he created it, he definitely just kind of added to it, made it fancy. Cubism is like, it's almost like it makes paintings look mathematical. It's like you look at it and it's just kind of capturing to the eye. And there's so many ways to do it. Some people just add lines. We're getting close here. We got some of the mouth done, some of the lips. I always add yellow. Once again, I want there to be like gold teeth in the picture because it's a little bit of rap music and everything that I do, just to make sure, like. But Picasso is not even one of my favorite painters at all, but I do notice that if you look at someone's work enough, you are able to like draw inspiration from it in a way. lot of times with the paint, I feel like the paint is it's not a conflict, but it's definitely like a fight. It's like, how do I get this pasty stuff to work with me how I want it to? And with oil paint, what I do see is, I feel like oil paint is for bigger surfaces. Like those paintings in the background were all done in oil. They're very beautifully done. But on a smaller canvas, it's just a lot to focus on. It's like easier to do acrylic because it's drying as soon as you put it on there. I did use a smaller brush this time, and once again I'm still having like a hard time with it. I think I need like very small brushes but very long brushes so that I'm not like stressing my hand out. But I do like that smaller brushes allow for more detail. So if I do ever want to do like a completely realistic look, it will be very good using smaller brushes. I feel like for the channel, I gotta eventually get Ramses to paint a picture. That's a nose. Getting a nose on there. The eyes. There's one specific detail about this painting that I'm like, I waited to the last part to do like a background layer. I could have done it earlier in the painting. I think it would have been easier to do had I didn't wait till that part last. Adding the yellow in for the teeth. This part was difficult because as you see, like the green's kind of like getting a little bit on top of there. A teacher of mine told me before, just paint in thick layers. That way, even if you get other colors involved, it looks less like a mistake and more like it was done on purpose. All paintings just about are like happy accidents. All paintings. Even if you draw them, it's not going to be exactly how you drew them, being that pencils and pens are more controlled. But I do like how this one's coming together. This is the part I meant. It's like this yellow for a background. I'm not exactly sure why I picked yellow, but I'm trying to make everything look a little bit distorted, or like, I really like heat vision. So I'm trying to figure out that color palette. All the beats you're hearing are produced by me, by the way. If you know any rappers, singers, anyone, that's gonna be my next project, is trying to figure out how to incorporate all sounds into videos, or some more processed videos of how these are made. It's a very quick painting. Some people think about each and every painting as a masterpiece. I like to pride myself on some of the paintings that you make have to be, I was working on something, or I was figuring something out. It's not my best picture, it's not my worst, but I was painting, I made something. I kept it, I saved it, I varnished it. It exists. You might see this grow into something different. I might do one 50 by 50 at some point, but it was definitely just me making sure that there wasn't a blank canvas around. that I didn't attempt something different, something new on. I want to say this whole entire morning we were listening to like Elon and laughing about how strange his talking cadence is. But the yellow ended up being the hardest part of this image, is like trying to get that background on there. Because the spray paint it wasn't bad, it wasn't a full layer, it was very uneven. I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm just fine detailing everything. I'd say this one was fun. It's definitely fun. Something simple, easy to do. You see how all the colors are, well, when the light's right, you see all the colors kind of coming alive. A lot of times this size canvas, people like to do portraits or landscapes. It's kind of like make something new, random. It'll be in my wheelhouse of things. Nobody can ever say I didn't attempt at Cubism either. Now I'm trying to figure out how cubist should I go. There's this one picture that I see on Instagram all the time it's like a whole portrait made out of triangles. So I'm like, should I put triangles in all of the shapes and figures that I'm putting on here? Decided to do a couple, but not a bunch. You want the image to still be readable. I truthfully believe that everybody can paint. I don't think it's anything. I know that when I get in depth with something that it's definitely hard to do, but like something like this, I feel like anybody that attempts can do it, can try it. I don't think like doing a portrait correctly is not easy, but it's like you got some paint, you got a canvas, you can make a good picture. It's not rocket science, you know. Don't get me wrong, there's a science to it though. Not everybody's good, you know what I'm saying? It's not always easy, but it's not rocket science. Yeah. Those are like the finishing touches on this one. Yeah. I'm like, subscribe, leave a comment, you know, watch all my other videos. I feel like I've been making videos for 30 years now. Yeah. Look at this palette, it's crazy. Those pants are starting to look like what I use to like clean the brushes with. It's gross. Get a whole new painter's outfit. It has to be warm though, because I'm always like out late in the cold doing this. Y'all help me figure out what I need to wear when I'm painting. And we will see you next time.